Let's dive into some chart patterns. We have a Grand Cardinal Cross, Sun, Moon, and Venus, 14 to 22 degrees of Cancer, directly opposite Ceres, 14 degrees. It's an exact opposition. With the asteroids, they're activated when it's exact, and that's why we're calling this a Grand Cardinal Cross. This is crossing off or squaring off against the nodal axis. The south node 10 degrees Libra versus the north node 10 degrees Aries. This is a major push-pull of energy, past versus present. We're pulled between where we've been and where we would like to be. This is symbolizing a collective transition from old ways of being and into the paradigms necessary for a new Earth. And trust me, I get it. The opposition occurring between Mercury, conjunct vertex, point of fate and destiny, in Leo, opposite Pluto, in Aquarius, are aspecting my natal nodal axis, with Pluto conjoining my natal north node of fate and destiny in the early degrees of Aquarius, and Mercury conjoining my natal south node in Jupiter in the first 10 degrees of Leo. Simultaneously, the south node is stationed right between my natal ascendant, 12 degrees Libra, and chart ruler Venus, 8 degrees Libra on the Widowmaker, and still coming from my Mercury, 4 degrees Libra, after having already activated my natal Sun, 14 degrees Libra, which is in an exact trine to this Cancer new moon and fixed star Sirius. I am getting hit by this karmic clearing in several different ways. Long story short, we have a grand water trine between the Sun, Moon, and Venus aligned between 15 and 22 degrees Cancer, Saturn and Neptune 19 to 29 degrees Cancer, and Pallas Athena 19 degrees Scorpio. Typically with the asteroids, we consider them when they're in exact aspect to another planet, so in this case we can consider it a grand water trine because Saturn and Pallas Athena are forming an exact trine to one another, 19 degrees of their respective signs. Specifically with the new moon and Venus trine Saturn and Neptune, this is super supportive and supporting our healing. Some additional aspects to explore. We have Chiron square the new moon, facilitating and supporting the healing of our deepest abandonment and rejection wounds stemming from childhood and patterns of generational trauma passed down by how we were parented. Mars trine new moon and Mars sextile Saturn. The combined energies of Mars in Taurus and Cancer energy can be prone to depression and holding on to things, including the stubborn or more fixed qualities of our personalities, since Mars is in a fixed Earth sign and closing in on Uranus. This is the energy of holding on to resentments and becoming emotionally constipated, so to speak. Seek to actively forgive yourself and others so that you can release grudges and resentments before they become a poison unto yourself. How to work with the energy. The new moon in Cancer can be an incredibly emotional time. Cancer season is a time to put family matters first. Spend time near water and use water for cleansing. This will bring you answers and peace. I get downloads and flashes of ideas all the time when I'm in the shower, bath, or swimming. I was a career swimmer. Cancer energy rules freshwater sources like lakes and rivers, so this is ideal. But saltwater heals all wounds, and we do have a lot of energy in Pisces, Saturn conjunct Neptune, ruling the oceans and salty water. Review your goals. Have they changed? Allow someone to get a little closer to you. Practice meditation to rediscover your center and to silence or banish any insecurities. Now I'd like to review the recent astrological history and introduce what's coming on the astrological horizon. Gemini season put the spotlight of energy on Gemini's ruling planet Mercury, which at the beginning of Gemini season was in Taurus, and then later on was in rulership in Gemini. This symbolically helped us to bridge the energy as Jupiter transitioned from the late degrees of Taurus into the early degrees of Gemini, amplifying the energy, and with Venus's help, creating chaotically busy social schedules from late May until the 4th of July holiday and Cancer new moon. I think by about now we're probably tired and we're ready to rest. Halfway between then and the Cancer new moon, we had the first of two back-to-back full moons in the sign of Capricorn. This is special, most notably because it's the first of two back-to-back full moons in the sign of Capricorn, making the second one, falling on July 21st, a blue moon. Let's talk about what a blue moon is and dispel some common misconceptions really quickly. Have you ever heard the phrase, once in a blue moon, or when pigs fly? Well, a blue moon can mean anything improbable or rare, such as having 2 consecutive back-to-back full moons in the same sign. So technically, if you call this a blue moon, I won't call you out, and it's okay. However, technically speaking, because the solar calendar has 11 more days than the lunar calendar, after a while, roughly every 2 to 3 years, we get an extra or a bonus 13th full moon within a calendar year. If you did not know that there is a full moon every month, I hope you will walk away knowing that after this video, at the very least. Technically, a blue moon is defined as one of the following: the second full moon falling within a calendar month. This happens once every 32 months, the most recent of which occurred last August, 2023. 2023 featured 13 full moons in a calendar year, so the definition absolutely checks out. The second definition is the third full moon falling in a season. Since we only have 12 full moons in 2024, 1 per month, and since this is only the second full moon of the summer season, not the third, according to the technical definition, this 7/21 full moon is not a blue moon. You can choose to interpret it how you will, but hopefully this helps explain why some astrologers are calling it a blue moon and others are not. If you would like to rewind back to the blue moon of 2023 and the time leading up to it, I encourage you to do so, because we will absolutely be revisiting these energies this summer. I would rewind all the way back to the new moon in Cancer 2023, which I'll plug in as an end card here, and you can start there. Then, I would proceed to the double full moons falling in the month of August 2023. The first fell on the first of the month, on August 1st, 2023, and the second full moon, the blue moon, fell on the very last day, on August 31st, 2023. You may also want to review Venus retrograde through Leo summer 2023, as this energy will be revisited this August through September 2024, and again December 2024 through February 2025. Additionally, where the second full moon occurs, 29 degrees Capricorn, is precisely where Pluto is headed to deliver one final blow, early September to November 2024. And I do believe it's coming for the US economy. Whenever Pluto is at 29 degrees of an Earth sign, it affects the economy in some way. Mastering Capricorn energy means learning to be realistic about how much time and energy we can invest into something without burning the candle at both ends and completely fizzling out. The first Capricorn full moon occurred 1 degree 6 minutes Capricorn. Back-to-back full moons in the same sign is a big deal, and it's essentially like the universe saying, pay attention here, I don't want you to miss this. The first full moon, in the very early degrees of its sign, indicates the story is still unfolding, while the latter full moon at the final anaretic critical 29th degree point indicates a massive collective transformation is unfolding, especially since from that position, Pluto would be working with the full moon by conjunction. Sextile Neptune, also 29 degrees, and trine Uranus, immediately following Uranus's conjunction with Mars mid-July, 26 degrees Taurus, the location of demon star Algol. Because this full moon happens 1 degree 6 arc minutes of Capricorn, this means we are just starting to access a new level of awareness which will progressively deepen, with patience, during the time frame between the first full moon on June 21st and the upcoming one, July 21st, representing the completion of a personal and collective maturation journey deeply connected with Pluto's transit through Capricorn, which started way back in 2008, bringing us Generation Alpha. Pluto at 0 degrees Aquarius is going to be conjunct with July's full moon in Capricorn, intensifying the energy and bringing themes of deep personal transformation. The combined effects of moon in Capricorn with Pluto there, it would have like a strong Scorpio moon flavor, which is super intense and dramatic, emotionally intense. People who have their moon in Scorpio, one of my brothers has this, it usually indicates a very intense and emotionally needy mother. And that checks out for our family. Full moons in Capricorn answer to ruling planet Saturn, which is the only planet to station retrograde in June, and therefore a key planet to watch all month and into July 2024. Saturn is Chronos, all about karma, rules, regulations, restriction, isolation, structure, and boundaries. Saturn and Capricorn are all about mastery, but first and foremost, they will require mastery of the self. Full moons mark the midpoint of the lunar month and represent a moment of culmination and completion, the seeds for which were planted 6 months prior during the corresponding Capricorn new moon. I'll plug that video here for you to review. It's quite long, but it's quite good. When the moon is full, she forms a 180-degree angle with the sun from our perspective here on Earth. In astrology, this is an opposition, and it's connected with themes of polarization, dynamic tension, and a feeling of being pulled into opposing or conflicting directions. From this position, the light of the sun, representing the light of our awareness and conscious minds, fully illuminates the moon, associated with our deeper subconscious intuitive and emotional worlds. Full moons bring clarity, and they present opportunities to access new realizations and perspectives, understanding something previously uncertain or unclear. Full moons bring into the spotlight the dynamic tension created by two seemingly opposing yet complementary energies of the zodiac, and they ask us to observe how we balance and harmonize them. June's full moon and July's full moon play out along this Capricorn-Cancer axis of opposition. This is also referred to as the career-family axis, both Cancer and Capricorn being connected with our past, heritage, upbringing, and the way we have been programmed or conditioned from our culture, our society, and our families of origin. Cancer is ruled by the moon. Both are connected to the inner child, maternal lineage, and our inner mother archetypes. Cancer and our moon placements show us how we were nurtured, and we, in turn, nurture others, while Capricorn and its ruler Saturn has everything to do with our primary disciplinarians and boss or authority figures, the adult parts of our psyche and inner critical parent voice, which are connected with our relationship with our father and main authority figure of our upbringing, and with how we go out into the world and assert our dominance. The Cancer-Capricorn axis has a lot to do with our ability to emotionally self-regulate and our self-parenting style. Capricorn corresponds to our core conditioning, the beliefs, societal values, and thought patterns that we've internalized from a young age that has now created the inner structures and walls that keep us limited and disconnected from our authentic selves. This event is an opportunity, this full moon, to gain awareness, the double full moon, of what structures or boundaries need to be dismantled and dissolved, and what structures need instead to be created to support our growth and evolution, as well as our emotional health. The Cancer-Capricorn axis of opposition correlates, therefore, to our emotional maturation and with how we bridge the gap and create both emotional and material safety within our lives. My neighbors must be back in town. Full moon in Capricorn, taking greater responsibility for our emotions. The full moon in Capricorn presents an opportunity to reflect on how we emotionally self-regulate and essentially parent ourselves. This event is an opportunity to gain awareness and release some of the confines of our conditioning, especially as it relates to our emotional self-regulation, our vulnerability, our avoidance, addictions, and workaholic patterns, and our need for nurturing. The moon is traditionally debilitated in Capricorn, as she is at home in the opposite sign of Cancer. This is an invitation to observe in what ways we are used to not honoring our emotions, and what messages we received from our culture, society, or family of origin around emotional expression, which is still often associated with weakness. We'll have an opportunity to face the ways we repress our emotions or try to feign being strong when we're actually feeling quite vulnerable and scared. The back-to-back Capricorn full moons in June and July 2024 are opportunities to practice holding space for our emotions while at the same time taking greater personal responsibility for them and our triggers as we transmute and work through the energy, rather than projecting them and placing the blame outwardly or making their regulation somebody else's problem, affecting that person's peace. Taking accountability for our emotions might also mean allowing them to be seen and witnessed, If we are used to running, avoiding, hiding, or suppressing these emotions, our healing may require allowing others to hold space for us as we learn to process them. You're invited to take the next step in emotional maturation by recognizing what is out of balance in your relationship with your emotions and moving toward the opposite end of the spectrum as we find balance, return to center, and restore harmony and peace. Thank you for tuning in. I hope that you enjoyed the coverage of the Cancer New Moon 2024. If you took anything away from this video, I would like to challenge you to please like this video. Make sure your notification bell icon is turned on. If you know anyone who you think would benefit from the content, it would really help to share the video. That helps push the video out in the YouTube algorithm. All of those are also ways to give me feedback and let me know that you're watching and that you enjoy the content and you want me to make more of it. If you liked this video, you may enjoy these additional videos. Please also comment. I would love to hear where you're tuning in from, what placements you have, especially in the fixed stars and the key areas that we mentioned in this video. Thank you, I love you, stay safe, and have a wonderful summer. We will talk very soon.